Hello, young biologists. Have you ever wondered why rice, roti, and dal are always on our plates, no matter the season? With unpredictable weather, pests, and poor soils, growing food isn't easy. That's where crop improvement comes in. Crop improvement is the science of developing better crops, higher yield, disease resistance, climate tolerance, and improved nutrition. It's essential for food security, especially in a country like India. Remember the Green Revolution? High-yielding wheat and rice varieties like Kalyan Sona transformed India from food shortage to food surplus. Biologically, we improve traits like biomass, nutrient content, and resistance using breeding and biotechnology. The result? Crops that use water, nutrients, and sunlight more efficiently, reducing chemical inputs and protecting the environment. That's the power of biology, securing our food sustainably, one grain at a time. Welcome back. Now imagine you're designing a brand new superhero plant. What powers would you give it? Strong roots to withstand drought? Tough leaves to resist pests? Or grains packed with extra nutrition? Well, that's exactly what crop scientists do when they target specific traits in crop improvement. Crop improvement is never random, it's goal specific. If an area faces frequent droughts, researchers focus on improving drought resistance. If pests are a major problem, disease resistance becomes the key trait. It's all about choosing what matters most to that crop and that region. Take the example of IR64, a rice variety developed for regions that needed shorter growing time and resistance to diseases. By giving it a fast growth cycle and tough resistance, scientists matched its biology with local agricultural needs. The way we achieve this is through selection and hybridization. Specific alleles, meaning versions of genes from different plants, are combined through crossbreeding, and the best combinations are selected in future generations. Let's understand a physiological trait like drought tolerance. Some crops survive dry conditions better because they grow deeper roots or reduce water loss through transpiration. That's a biological survival technique that we can harness and enhance through breeding. And not only do these superhero crops help farmers, they help ecosystems too. Developing pest-resistant varieties reduces the need for chemical sprays. That means beneficial insects like bees and butterflies stay safe, and our soils and water remain uncontaminated. So, with every improved crop trait, we work smarter with nature, not against it. Alright students, let's dive into one of the oldest, yet still powerful, tools in agriculture, conventional breeding methods. Picture a farmer carefully selecting seeds from the healthiest plants after a good harvest. It's simple, but it's the foundation of modern crop science. It all begins with selection. Scientists carefully choose parent plants that show specific desired traits, like larger fruits, better grain size, or disease resistance. These parents are then used for hybridization. Now, hybridization involves crossing to genetically different plants. This can be intervarietal within the same species or even interspecific across species to create new combinations of traits. The process continues over many generations. First, cross-pollinate two varieties. Then, select the best offspring. Do it again and again until the new trait becomes stable in future generations. It's a bit like building your dream playlist song by song, but with genetics. Here's a real-life breakthrough, the Kalyan Sona wheat. Scientists combined Indian wheat with Mexican dwarf wheat to create high-yielding, short-statured varieties. Dwarf plants don't fall over with heavy grain loads and they mature faster, a true win for farmers. But even this age-old method has its limits. It takes time, a lot of it. And because traits are inherited in mixed patterns, there's always an element of uncertainty in getting exact results. Still, isn't it fascinating that such simple biology, breeding, lies behind securing food for billions? Now we step into the exciting world of modern biology, where genes can be selected, sliced, and implanted with precision tools. This is where crop science meets biotechnology, and magic, well, science, happens faster than ever. So, what's modern crop improvement all about? It includes tools like genetic engineering, marker-assisted selection, and tissue culture to speed up the development of crops with superior traits. Let's talk about one powerful technique, recombinant DNA technology. This is where a specific gene, say one that protects a plant from pests, is directly inserted into the plant's genome. Genetically modified crops, or GM crops, are the result of this biotechnology marvel. Take Bt cotton, for instance. Scientists inserted a gene from a bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis. This gene produces a toxin deadly to bollworms but harmless to humans. The result? Cotton plants that protect themselves. And what if we need hundreds of such pest-resistant plants quickly? That's where tissue culture comes in. Using micropropagation, a single cell from an elite plant is placed in a sterile medium and it grows into a full plant. Multiply that process in labs and you have an entire army of identical, high-performing crops. Refer to the diagram here. Observe the explant taken from the parent plant, placed in a nutrient gel, gradually sprouting shoots and roots in controlled in vitro conditions, meaning in glass or outside the body. These techniques leap over time barriers and natural limitations, a thrilling application of biology to farming. Let's move on to something absolutely essential for life, nutrients. Just like you need a balanced diet to stay healthy, plants do need their version of vitamins and minerals to thrive. And when they don't get them, their growth and yield suffers. Plants take in 16 essential nutrients from air, water, and soil. Major ones like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium are called macronutrients, while others like zinc, iron, and manganese are micronutrients, tiny in quantity but mighty in impact. Observe leaf color in a field. If you see yellowing leaves, it often signals nitrogen deficiency. Why? Because nitrogen is crucial for making chlorophyll, the pigment that captures sunlight during photosynthesis. Less chlorophyll means less photosynthesis, and that means lower crop yield. So how do we supply these nutrients? Through soil fertility management, we can add organic materials like compost, FYM, farmyard manure, or even green manure crops, which return nutrients to the soil naturally. And when quick action is needed, chemical fertilizers deliver nutrients fast. Best of all, integrated nutrient management, or INM, combines both. This clever strategy supports long-term soil health and avoids pollution by balancing chemical and organic sources. Biologically, all these nutrients support crucial processes: protein synthesis, cell division, flowering, fruiting, each one like a backstage helper making sure the plant grows, functions, and reproduces smoothly. So next time you see a strong, lush crop, know that it's backed by a healthy diet, just like you. Now let's talk about water, the lifeblood of every plant. Have you noticed how a lawn wilts in the summer heat if not watered? That's because water drives every essential plant process, from photosynthesis to nutrient transport and even cell growth. Timely irrigation is absolutely critical. Without it, even the healthiest crop variety may fail to give good yield. But here's the catch: too much water is just as bad. When soil is waterlogged, oxygen can't reach the roots, and that disrupts cellular respiration, especially production of ATP, the energy molecule cutting off power for growth. Traditionally, methods like check basin and furrow irrigation have been used. These are simple but can waste water and lead to slow drainage. Modern approaches give us much better control. Sprinkler systems mimic rain, irrigating large areas efficiently. And drip irrigation, that's a marvel, delivers water drop by drop directly to plant roots, greatly reducing wastage. And here's a big ecological benefit. Efficient irrigation prevents problems like salinization, where excess salts build up in soil, harming crops and soil structure. From biology to technology, water management is a perfect example of how understanding life at the cellular level leads to smarter farming. Let me take you back to an extraordinary chapter in India's agricultural story, the Green Revolution. What happened was nothing short of a scientific miracle. We went from struggling to feed our population to becoming a food surplus nation. The heroes? High-yielding varieties, or HYVs, like IR8 rice and Sonora 64 wheat. These crops were developed with traits like shorter growing times, better nutrient response, and resistance to diseases and pests. Under the right conditions, they absolutely transformed productivity. HYVs work differently from traditional varieties. Instead of using resources for just leafy growth, they channel most of their biomass into grain production, and that translates directly to more food on your plate. But they need care. They perform best with proper irrigation, timely fertilizer application, and some degree of pest protection. Support them well, and they reward you generously. Let's take a deep breath and reflect. We've traveled through age-old traditions, scientific revolutions, and biotechnological marvels, all in the quest to improve something as essential as crop yield. We began with the big why, to secure food despite climate, pests, and limited resources. Then we explored conventional pathways like hybridization and selection, techniques rooted deep in agricultural history. We then fast-forwarded into the future with genetic engineering and tissue culture, giving us speed, precision, and control like never before. And we saw that just creating better crops isn't enough. Thoughtful practices like nutrient management and smart irrigation ensure those crops grow to their full potential in the field. So you see, improving crop yield isn't just about plants, it's about biology in action, serving ecosystems, economies, and human health. I hope this session opened your eyes to how deeply biology is woven into our food systems and our future. Keep exploring, and remember, every grain that feeds us has a living, breathing story of science behind it. Until our next biological adventure.